Hey gang, I'm back from my streak of not making videos. Sorry about that, it's just... I have been dedicating my time to a great cause though, which is making relatable dad memes for Instagram.
I will see you again. But not yet. Not yet.
They don't eat the apples because they don't want to eat an apple in front of their friends, but you gotta put one in a lunchbox to look like a good parent. You'll get it one day, if not already. We're back today with a knife. This is the knife that I've been carrying for the last month. This is the Scrawny Lumberjack's little knife. I'm sure it has a model name. I'll put it on the screen now. This one was sent to me for a steel test a little while ago on the 10V steel that it contains, and it was a very well-performing steel. Kudos were given quite rightfully to Kyle and his heat treatment team, or his heat treatment protocol, because this did cut for a great amount of time, as 10V should certainly do. You never know though, you get some 10Vs on the big box companies. Kaiser will make something in 10V, send it out at 61. What's the point, you know? Stuff is good. Cut for over 1,000 times if I remember correctly. So I've been carrying this guy in my pocket in its little sheath like so, just like that, putting it in there. You could hang it around as a neck knife if you are already committed to, I don't know, wearing Kangol hats, smoking cigars, and all other things that women find fucking gross. But not me. I still have some ego and wish to be attractive to the opposite sex. So it has been in my pocket and I pulled it out, I've taken it out of its sheath, put the sheath down, cut the thing with it, put it back in its sheath, and done. Yes, I'm aware of the many, many options that are available to me, even in this house. But that's just how painfully lazy I am sometimes. In the pocket, out of the pocket, that's it. It actually hasn't been that hard. So, looking at this guy here, it's a little blade. It's like just on 3 inches in terms of its length. That's like Spyderco Delica size. It's got a full handle that will encompass all 4 fingers of a medium to large hand. See, I have a large hand, and so it is encompassing them fingers, but I would like probably an extra 2 millimeters on this guy here for me to say it's optimized for my little grip there. So, very thin little knife, really sliced little knife. I've used it for all the different jobs that come up in the homestead. So let's share some thoughts on it. So yeah, as I alluded to, I suppose, in my last video, I'm finding it pretty hard to get too excited about much of the mainstream like knife stuff that's going on. I mean, not to slight the guys who have like the hype channels where they just review like every new Civivi, Kaiser, Max Ace, Sencut, all those sorts of things that are coming in. I just can't do it. I look at all those knives and I'm like, it's just too much to feel anything about at all ever. Like, not to be a back in my day, but back in my day, there was like maybe 2 or 3 new knives coming out from the main companies per month, and you knew what they were going to be and you were excited about them, and now it's just so much, a brain just can't keep up with it. So when I get something like this, it's like a little custom piece, like a little homemade knife by just a guy, it still kind of tickles me and it makes me, I don't know, maybe this is the way I'm leaning. Maybe it's just taken me a while to get here, to like the more bespoke experience. Because yeah, a homemade knife is never going to be perfect, or like a small batch or a single guy made knife. I mean, if it is perfect, you're probably looking at like a Michael Raymond or something and you're paying 15 grand for it. But these little fixed blades, it's a nice little cottage industry that I'm always pretty happy to support, especially when they're taking a bit of a punt and using a cool, you know, high-end steel like 10V, for example. I really like that. It shows that the person making the knife is a little bit of a steel nerd, just like me. It was funny, I often get asked when someone realizes that I'm into knives, and I sort of have the embarrassing conversation, yes, I actually have such strong knife autism, I need to have a YouTube channel about it to prevent me from info dumping on my friends and family. The first thing they ask, often very well-intentioned, good-natured, you know, hoping to keep the conversation going, but also keep it within their terms and not within mine. You know, when I start talking about things like vanadium and niobium, do you know most people haven't even heard of niobium? What the fuck? But anyway, to stop me from getting there, they often say first, oh, have you ever considered like maybe forging your own knives? Like, because that's where people's brains go with knives, like as in normie people's brains go, forged in fire, of course. And I always need to explain to them then, actually, whilst that is a great art form and it's something that I do admire, my bent in knives is definitely towards these modern hyper-processed materials like CPM 10V, things with exotic elements in them that simply can't be blacksmithed by even the finest of smiths around. Not really anyway, these are definitely space-aged modern steels, and this is the part of the knife hobby that still gets me quite excited and quite capable of a hefty info dump, info diarrhea even, on these poor unsuspecting people. So I love me a bespoke knife, and truly, it's pretty simple. If you like a little fixed blade knife and you like it to be ground well, thin behind the edge, in a great steel, with a sharpened spine so you can start yourself a fire with it, a good little Kydex sheath that could probably use an aftermarket Alti clip or something, then simply put, this is a great thing to look into. You'll be supporting a little American-made cottage industry, and it's going to be made very well. If they're anything like this one, they're all going to be pretty high quality, and get yourself something in a good material, maybe a steel you don't have yet. That'd be cool. That might be a way of sort of swinging it in your head. You have to play a head game about what each knife that you buy is going to bring you. I know I certainly do. Oh, I'm getting this knife because it's going to help with this, or it's going to fill this niche in my collection. So maybe Kyle will have something in a steel that you don't have, or in a cool little like blade style you don't have, or something like that. So hit up the Scrawny Lumberjack, see what he's got. You might be fanciful of something in his collection. So in short, great job Kyle. Well tempered, excellent steel, ground to perfection, slices amazingly, performed really well on every job that I realistically tried with, what is a very small knife. Handle will be absolutely great on anyone's hand that is just like slightly smaller than mine, but really no notes at all. So fantastic. Well done. I am going to keep on carrying this guy. I've really enjoyed having a fixed blade just dangling around. Little sheath retains well. It's like a proper snap, like a click, rather than like the squish of like a friction fit, or I guess it's still a friction fit, but it's like a detent friction fit. So really like that. I will probably put a little Alti clip on there, maybe carry it scout style, so I look cool, you carry it on the small of your back, and then every time you try and put it back, you poke yourself in the hand. I'm going to do that because that's what cool guys do. At any rate, the knife is wonderful, and I wholeheartedly recommend you check out the Scrawny Lumberjack on Instagram and see what he has currently in stock, because if they're anything like these, I think they're all going to be winners. See you next time, folks. Ta-ta and farewell.